On the edge of the Milky Way, Earth's fleet lay hidden among the shadows of distant moons and asteroid fields, a secret kept from the eyes of the galaxy for centuries. The humans were quiet, patient, and strong, their technology unmatched, yet the Galactic Council still underestimated them, believing them to be just another minor species. Captain Jinwoo, a man with a sharp mind and calm demeanor, paced the bridge of the flagship warship, the Daehan, while staring at the holographic map of the approaching enemy. Beside him, Lieutenant Hannah studied the enemy's projected paths, her brow furrowed as she traced the routes the alien coalition would take. Their fleet had grown bold, attacking isolated colonies without warning, believing humans to be weak and disorganized. Engineer Taemin, working tirelessly in the engine room, monitored the quantum cores that powered the Daehan, knowing the entire fleet's success depended on the perfection of the machinery he had spent years refining. The distant hum of the ship's engines resonated through the hull, a reminder of the latent power humanity had kept hidden for generations. On Earth, civilians were unaware of the imminent threat, going about their daily lives, but across the galaxy, whispers of the humans' hidden strength had begun to circulate. The alien coalition, a collection of multiple species led by cunning generals, believed their numbers alone would guarantee victory. They did not know that humans had survived worse odds, that they thrived under pressure, and that they had learned the art of war through ingenuity rather than sheer force. As the alien fleets approached the first colony, Jaiwin, a tactical officer on the Daehan, adjusted the targeting arrays, her fingers moving swiftly over the controls, ensuring that the fleet's first counterstrike would be precise. Communications buzzed intermittently as scouts reported enemy movements. The aliens were fast, but they were predictable in their arrogance. Captain Jinwoo called a meeting with his senior officers, including Sujin, the communications chief, and Mincio, a young but brilliant navigator who had plotted courses through dangerous sectors that even the most experienced pilots avoided. "We cannot allow them to destroy another colony," Jinwoo said, his voice steady yet filled with determination. "Our people are ready, our fleet is ready, and today we show the galaxy that humanity is not to be taken lightly." The officers nodded in silent agreement, each feeling the weight of responsibility. Outside the ship, the stars stretched endlessly, indifferent to the coming conflict, yet within the human fleet, tension and anticipation hung like a heavy fog. At the forward observation deck, Heian, a sharp-eyed scout, monitored incoming signals, noting patterns in the alien movements that hinted at their strategy. Though the humans were outnumbered, they were not outmatched. Every ship in the fleet had been designed for efficiency, stealth, and lethal precision, a testament to centuries of preparation. Meanwhile, on the planet below, colonists hurried to shelters, unaware of the heroes watching over them. Farmers, teachers, and children looked to the skies with a mix of fear and hope, for they trusted the humans who had promised to protect them. The aliens opened their attack without warning, launching missiles and plasma waves toward the colony, but the humans had anticipated this. The fleet moved like a single organism, coordinated and swift, dodging strikes and creating openings for counterattacks. Jinwoo's eyes narrowed as he watched the enemy formations on the holographic display. Hannah, mark the lead ships. Taemin, increase shield output on the forward flank. Mincio, prepare the jump coordinates. We strike back now. Orders were given and executed with flawless timing, the result of years of training and trust between officers who knew each other better than they knew themselves. From the observation deck, Heian's voice cut through the tension. "Captain, the enemy fleet is splitting into two groups. They're trying to encircle the colony." Jinwoo nodded. "Then we let them. It will make them vulnerable." Hannah, deploy the decoys. Mincio, set our course to intercept the weaker flank. Taemin, power all weapons to maximum. Jaiwin, prepare boarding teams. The humans were not just fighting to defend a colony. They were sending a message to the galaxy. Each strike, each maneuver, each act of courage was calculated to show that humanity would not bow to intimidation. As the alien fleet closed in, the first shots were fired, lighting the dark vacuum with explosions that shimmered like distant stars. The Daehan moved with precision, weaving through enemy fire, while smaller ships darted forward, drawing attention and creating openings. Jaiwan's targeting systems locked onto the lead alien vessels, and within moments, plasma beams tore through the hulls, crippling the first wave. On the colony surface, people looked up in awe as their defenders unleashed a display of skill and firepower that they had never imagined. Children clutched their parents' hands, teachers shielded students, but all felt a spark of hope, for the humans in the fleet above were their protectors. Mincio guided the fleet through the battlefield with uncanny intuition, dodging ambushes and flanking the enemy where least expected. Every alien ship that fell only strengthened human morale, and the aliens began to falter, surprised by the humans' courage and coordination. "They are learning quickly," one alien general hissed through a communicator, disbelief evident in their tone. "How can a species so small have such strength?" Jinwoo's calm voice resonated across the bridge. "They are human. We adapt. We endure. And we fight for each other. That is why we will not lose." In the shadows of space, other human warships, hidden from alien sensors, began to move into position. Captain Jinwoo had anticipated every possible outcome. The hidden fleet was a last line, a weapon reserved for the decisive moment. Engineer Taemin monitored the energy cores, feeling a mixture of tension and pride. Years of work, endless nights perfecting every system, had led to this moment. "All systems stable. Ready to engage the hidden fleet," he reported. Jinwoo nodded. "Good. Humanity's moment has arrived. Let them see who truly rules this battlefield." As the first part of the alien fleet faltered under the humans' unexpected strength, hope spread among Earth's colonies. Citizens whispered of the heroes in space. Jinwoo, Hannah, Taemin, Jaiwan, Mincio, and Heian, each playing their role in the defense of humanity. The Galactic Council, watching through long-range monitors, could only remain silent, witnessing a species they underestimated rise with courage and power. And above it all, the human warship Daehan glided through the void, a symbol of Earth's readiness, a reminder that humanity would fight for its people, its colonies, and its place among the stars no matter the cost. With every pulse of its engines, the fleet prepared for the battles to come, knowing that this was only the beginning, that the galaxy would soon learn the full strength of Earth's humans, and that silence would soon fall upon those who dared to underestimate them. The alien attack on the human colony escalated as the initial wave struck with terrifying speed, but humanity's fleet responded with calculated precision, showing the enemy that humans were not to be underestimated. Captain Jinwoo stood on the bridge of the Daehan, eyes sharp and voice calm, issuing orders that cut through the tension like a blade. "Hannah, deploy the intercept drones. Mincio, guide the flanking ships around their left wing. Jaiwan, prepare the boarding teams. They may try to escape through the outer ring." Every officer executed their task flawlessly, the trust and coordination among them forged from years of training and shared battles. Outside, the vacuum of space was filled with chaos as alien warships fired plasma bursts and laser cannons, creating streaks of red and blue light that danced across the black expanse. Engineer Taemin monitored the energy output, his fingers flying across the controls to ensure shields remained stable under relentless assault. "Shields at 78%, he reported, his voice steady, though tension edged every word. Captain Jinwoo nodded, unshaken. "Maintain focus. Humanity survives through ingenuity, not panic." The first alien ship in the lead formation exploded under the precise fire of the human fleet, its hull tearing apart, sending fragments scattering into the void. Lieutenant Hannah's voice rang out from the tactical station. "The outer flank is exposed, Captain. They're regrouping toward the colony." Jinwoo's mind raced as he considered every possible strategy. "Then we give them a reason to regret it. Mincio, lead the interceptor squadron to cut them off before they reach the surface. Heian, keep eyes on the incoming scouts. We cannot allow surprises." Meanwhile, on the ground, colonists ran for safety, their fear mingling with awe as they witnessed human warships maneuvering with terrifying skill above their homes. Engineers, teachers, and children alike watched as streaks of light lit the sky, signs of humanity's power, and for a brief moment, they felt hope. In the enemy's command ship, Confusion spread as alien generals realized their carefully planned assault was failing. Why are they so organized? How can they counter every maneuver we make? One hissed, disbelief and anger clashing in their voice. Back aboard the Daehan, Captain Jinwoo leaned over the holographic display, watching the aliens falter under the human assault. They have underestimated us, he said quietly. That will be their downfall. Lieutenant Jaiwan prepared the boarding teams, selecting volunteers who would move swiftly through teleportation pods to cripple the enemy ships from within. They don't know what's coming, she said to herself, checking equipment and coordinating with the flanking vessels. Engineer Taemin activated the hidden fleet's jump engines, sending signals that would bring additional warships into the battle at the precise moment. The humans had planned for every contingency, every trap, and the alien coalition had fallen straight into their hands. On the observation deck, Scout Hayan monitored the battlefield, noting alien ships that tried to retreat. Captain, 2 of their main frigates are breaking formation and heading toward the colony surface, she reported. Jinwoo's eyes narrowed. Then we ensure they don't reach it. Mincio, reroute the interceptors. Hannah, target their engines. Jaiwan, prepare boarding teams for these ships. Taemin, maintain maximum shields for the colony fleet. The fleet moved with the precision of a living organism, each vessel anticipating the others, every maneuver designed to protect the colony and destroy the attackers. As the humans struck back, the aliens realized they were facing a force unlike any they had met before. Their plasma beams were intercepted, their missiles dismantled by energy shields, and their coordinated formations cut apart by swift human tactics. Lieutenant Hannah monitored the battle, her voice calm as she relayed critical data to the fleet. Captain, the lead frigate's shields are weakening. Boarding team ready. Jinwoo nodded. Execute. Humanity shows no fear. Moments later, the boarding teams teleported onto the alien frigates, encountering resistance but overcoming it with coordinated precision, disabling the ships from the inside while the fleet maintained cover. Engineer Taemin adjusted the Daehan's core output to provide bursts of energy to assist the boarding teams, knowing that even a small delay could mean disaster. On the colony surface, civilians watched as the human fleet moved like a single mind, dodging, attacking, and neutralizing threats with relentless efficiency. Children pointed skyward, their eyes wide in amazement, while adults whispered prayers of gratitude for the defenders who risked everything to protect them. Meanwhile, Mincio guided interceptors to cut off alien reinforcements, weaving through debris and laser fire, relying on instinct honed through endless simulations and real battles. We're close to their main engines, he reported over comms, adrenaline surging. If we take them down, the fleet will crumble. Captain Jinwoo's voice was steady, carrying authority and confidence. Do it. Humanity will not yield. The human strategy unfolded perfectly, with each movement calculated and precise. The alien forces struggled to adapt, confusion spreading through their ranks. On board the Daehan, Jaiwan's team successfully disabled the engines of one frigate, sending it spinning helplessly into space while another was neutralized by Hannah's tactical guidance. Engineer Taemin's systems hummed with energy, providing shields and firepower support where needed, while Scout Hayan tracked remaining enemy vessels. Captain, the enemy is in full retreat, Hayan reported. Jinwoo allowed a small smile. Let them flee. The galaxy has witnessed humanity's strength. But the humans did not relax, knowing the battle was far from over. The alien coalition was large, and reinforcements could arrive at any moment. Every officer and crew member remained vigilant, their skills tested to the limit, their courage unwavering. On Earth, the Galactic Council observed silently, astonished by the humans' tactical genius and bravery. What they had assumed would be a minor skirmish became a spectacle of human ingenuity, determination, and power. The colonies cheered as the alien fleet faltered, and a sense of hope and pride filled the hearts of humanity everywhere. Captain Jinwoo, standing on the bridge of the Daehan, looked across the stars with calm determination. This is just the beginning, he said softly. We protect our people, our homes, and our place in the galaxy. They will know the humans do not surrender, do not fear, and do not yield. Around him, Lieutenant Hannah, Jaiwin, Mincio, Tamine, and Heian prepared for the next phase, aware that the aliens would not give up easily, but confident in humanity's ability to overcome any challenge. The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the unfolding battle, but within the human fleet, the determination and unity of the crew shone brighter than any star. As the battle continued, humanity proved once again that courage, strategy, and unity could overcome even the greatest threats, and the galaxy began to realize that Earth's humans were no longer a species to be underestimated. With every maneuver, every strike, every calculated risk, the humans demonstrated that they were masters of their destiny, and that no enemy, no matter how powerful, could crush their spirit. And so, as part 2 of the battle unfolded, the human fleet pressed forward, relentless and unyielding, sending a message across the galaxy. That humanity would protect its colonies, defend its people, and rise victorious, no matter the cost, and the legend of Captain Jinwoo and his crew grew with every pulse of their engines and every victory they claimed. The human fleet pressed forward as the alien forces reeled from the initial strikes, their confidence shattered by the precision and coordination of Captain Jinwoo and his crew, and the Daehan moved through space like a silent predator ready to strike at the heart of the enemy. Lieutenant Hannah monitored multiple screens at once, her eyes scanning for weak points in the alien formations, while Mincio guided the interceptors in a sweeping arc to cut off escape routes, their sleek ships weaving through the chaos with almost unnatural agility. The alien generals, once proud and confident, now barked orders in panic, attempting to regroup their scattered fleets. But every move they made was anticipated by humans who had studied, trained, and prepared for this very battle for generations. Jaiwin coordinated boarding parties, selecting the bravest of the human volunteers who would teleport onto alien vessels and neutralize critical systems, while Tamine adjusted the energy cores of the Daehan and nearby warships to provide bursts of power precisely where it was needed, reinforcing shields, weapons, and propulsion systems in perfect synchrony. "They think numbers can overwhelm us," Jinwoo said, his voice calm but firm over the comms. "They are wrong. Humanity is stronger than they imagine." Outside the ships, space erupted in light and fire as the humans engaged in full-scale combat. Lasers tearing through alien hulls, missiles intercepted and destroyed mid-flight, and explosions scattering debris that glimmered like stars against the black void. On the observation deck, Scout Heian tracked the enemy's every move, noting ships trying to retreat, regroup, or counterattack. "Captain, the enemy's rearguard is attempting to flee toward the colony," she reported. Jinwoo's eyes narrowed. "Then we cut them off." Mincio, redirect the interceptors. Hannah, prepare targeted strikes on their engines. Jaiwin, boarding teams ready for rapid deployment. Tamine, maximize output for the fleet's forward shields. Each officer carried out their orders with efficiency and courage, moving as if connected by one mind, anticipating the enemy's next moves before they could even think them. On the colony surface, civilians looked to the sky in a mixture of fear and awe, seeing the humans above orchestrate a battle that seemed almost impossible. Children clutched their parents' hands, their wide eyes reflecting the bursts of light from distant explosions, while adults whispered words of gratitude and hope, knowing that the humans above were risking everything to defend them. The alien coalition, spread across dozens of ships and commanded by generals who prided themselves on strategy, began to crumble under the relentless pressure. Their attempts at coordinated attacks failed repeatedly, as every maneuver was anticipated, every trap foreseen. "Why are they so prepared? How can they fight like this?" one alien general hissed, anger and disbelief mixing in his tone. Meanwhile, Captain Jinwoo observed the battlefield with quiet intensity, issuing orders that were executed flawlessly by his trusted officers. Hannah, focus fire on the central frigate. Mincio, interceptors, cut off their retreat to the outer rim. Jaiwin, boarding teams deploy simultaneously on the rear guard. Tamine, boost shields for the flanking vessels. The humans executed these orders with deadly precision, their coordination a testament to years of training, planning, and ingenuity. As the first boarding teams teleported onto alien ships, fierce battles erupted within the hulls, sparks flying as humans dismantled weapon systems, severed control circuits, and disabled engines, leaving the aliens confused and vulnerable. Engineer Tamine monitored the energy levels, ensuring that each ship could maintain shields and weapons without overloading, while Scout Heian relayed critical data to Jinwoo, tracking alien reinforcements and weak points. Captain, the central frigate is unstable. Its engines are failing, Heian reported, a note of triumph in her voice. Jinwoo allowed a brief smile. Then we push forward. Humanity will not falter. Across space, the remaining alien ships attempted to regroup, but every attempt was met with overwhelming human ingenuity. Lasers intercepted incoming missiles, drones intercepted fighters, and human warships moved with speed and precision, cutting the enemy into smaller, manageable groups. On board the Daehan, Jaiwin's boarding team succeeded in disabling another enemy frigate, sending it spiraling out of control, while Hannah coordinated devastating attacks on the remaining vessels, exploiting every weakness. Engineer Tamine's systems hummed with energy, delivering perfect bursts of power where needed, allowing humans to maintain control of the battlefield despite the numerical advantage of the enemy. Mincio guided interceptors through deadly asteroid fields, using debris as cover and forcing alien ships into traps, while Heian kept a watchful eye on distant reinforcements, ready to warn the fleet of any surprises. On the colony below, people cheered quietly as they saw the alien fleet faltering, the humans above showing that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most overwhelming odds. Captain Jinwoo, standing at the bridge, looked out over the stars with unwavering determination. Every strike we make, every maneuver, every calculated risk, tells them that humans do not surrender. We protect our people, we defend our home, and we will rise victorious. The aliens, sensing their defeat, attempted a final desperate maneuver to escape, but Mincio's interceptors cut them off. Hannah's targeting destroyed engines, and Jaiwin's boarding teams neutralized the last threats. Engineer Tamine managed the energy flow, keeping the fleet's shields and weapons at optimal levels despite continuous strain. As the alien ships were destroyed or forced to flee, silence began to spread across the battlefield, broken only by the hum of human warships holding their positions. Scout Heian watched the last of the enemy vessels retreating into the void. "It's over, Captain. The field is clear." Jinwoo's eyes remained vigilant, knowing that while this battle had been won, the galaxy still held countless threats. "For now," he said quietly, "humanity has shown its strength. Let this be a warning. Underestimate us, and you will fall." Across the human fleet, officers and crew exchanged nods of pride and relief, knowing that their unity and courage had turned the tide of what could have been a devastating assault. The colonies below, now safe for the moment, celebrated in quiet triumph, looking to the stars with newfound respect and hope for the humans who defended them. Captain Jinwoo, Lieutenant Hannah, Engineer Tamine, Lieutenant Jaiwin, Navigator Mincio, and Scout Heian had all played their roles perfectly, their skills, courage, and loyalty shaping the outcome of a battle that would be remembered across the galaxy. And in the void beyond, as the stars stretched endlessly, the humans held their positions, ready for whatever challenge might come next, proving to the alien coalition, to the Galactic Council, and to the universe itself that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, that their courage and intelligence were as formidable as any weapon, and that no matter the odds, they would rise to protect their people and claim their place among the stars. A shining example of strength, unity, and the unstoppable spirit of human determination. The remnants of the alien fleet scattered and faltered as humanity's warships moved like a single unstoppable wave through the void, and Captain Jinwoo watched from the bridge of the Daehan, calm yet resolute, as his crew prepared for the decisive strike that would determine the outcome of the battle. Lieutenant Hannah coordinated the targeting systems with precise efficiency, marking every enemy vessel that still posed a threat while communicating with the flanking units to encircle the remaining forces, and Mincio guided the interceptors through the debris-strewn battlefield, weaving past exploding ships and weaving in close enough to strike the enemy's weaker shields with pinpoint accuracy, while Jaiwin readied her boarding teams, knowing that some ships could still escape or regroup, and Engineer Tamine monitored the energy cores, pushing the warship to maximum output without risking overload, ensuring that shields and weapons could hold. For as long as they were needed, Scout Hayan hovered at the observation deck, eyes scanning the distance for any sign of enemy reinforcements, and her sharp voice cut through the comms. "Captain, we have 2 frigates attempting to escape toward the outer rim, but their engines are damaged. They won't last long." And Jinwoo nodded. "Then we intercept. Humanity will not allow them to flee, nor will we leave any threat unchecked. Mincio, redirect the interceptors. Hannah, lock all energy cannons on their engines. Jaiwin, prepare boarding teams for final neutralization." Every officer knew the stakes, their hearts steady with purpose, their minds sharp, and the human fleet surged forward with synchronized precision, weaving through plasma fire and laser beams while sending missiles and energy blasts toward the last alien frigates, the vacuum of space illuminated by the destructive dance of battle. On the surface of the colony, people watched in awe as the human warships executed maneuvers that seemed impossible, dodging attacks with elegance and striking back with deadly accuracy, and parents whispered to children that these were the heroes who would protect them, who had prepared for centuries to ensure the survival of humanity against enemies who had never believed in their strength. Within the Daehan, Captain Jinwoo's voice was calm but commanding. "Hannah, concentrate fire on the central frigate. Mincio, interceptors, cut off any escape routes. Jaiwin, boarding teams, move simultaneously. Taemin, maintain full power to shields and weapons." The humans executed each command with perfect coordination. Every strike from the energy cannons and missiles weakened the alien ships while boarding teams teleported aboard with speed and precision, swiftly disabling control systems, destroying weapons, and ensuring no vessel could recover. And with each ship neutralized, the alien forces' morale collapsed, their coordination fractured, and panic spread among the surviving crews. Scout Hayan's voice carried over the comms. "Captain, the last 2 capital ships are isolated. They're vulnerable." Jinwoo's eyes narrowed, determination gleaming. "Then we finish this. Hannah, fire everything. Mincio, interceptors, lock down their engines. Jaiwin, boarding teams, go." The human fleet moved like a storm, every vessel, every weapon, every crew member acting in unison, and the alien ships, once proud and confident, now had no options left, caught in the deadly precision of humanity's strike. Engineer Taemin adjusted the core output to give one final surge to the Daehan's weapons, ensuring that the alien frigates would be disabled beyond repair, while Mincio guided the interceptors to block all avenues of retreat. Lieutenant Hannah's fingers flew across the controls, firing synchronized blasts that tore through the alien shields and hulls, sending fragments spinning into space. Jaiwin's boarding teams swiftly deployed, neutralizing any remaining resistance with efficiency born of years of training and strategy. And the alien crews could only watch in disbelief as the humans dismantled every vessel, every system, and every chance of victory. Across the battlefield, explosions lit the darkness, but the human fleet moved forward undeterred, shields holding firm, engines propelling them with relentless precision, and the combined force of the Daehan and its supporting vessels created a wave of destruction that left no enemy ship untouched. On the colony below, civilians cheered softly, some crying quietly, some watching with wide-eyed amazement, and they felt a sense of relief and pride as the humans above, Captain Jinwoo, Lieutenant Hannah, Engineer Taemin, Lieutenant Jaiwin, Navigator Mincio, and Scout Hayan, displayed courage, skill, and unity that could not be broken. The humans were not just defending the colony, they were proving to the galaxy that humanity was a force that could not be ignored. Even as the alien coalition crumbled, scattered, and burned, the human fleet remained vigilant, ensuring that no ship escaped to regroup and that no threat remained, their discipline and determination unwavering. Jinwoo's calm voice echoed over the comms. "Hold formation. Maintain shields. Ensure every ship is accounted for. We protect what is ours." Hayan monitored the distant horizons, scanning for any hidden reinforcements, while Mincio guided interceptors in tight formations to cover all blind spots. Engineer Taemin's systems hummed with energy, shields reinforced, weapons ready, and every crew member on the Daehan and supporting vessels worked with a unity that seemed almost preternatural. The alien generals, realizing their defeat was absolute, attempted one last desperate maneuver, trying to ram the human fleet or break through the encirclement. But every attempt failed as Hannah's targeting anticipated their moves. Jaiwin's boarding teams intercepted, and Minsio's interceptors blocked all escape. The silence of space was punctuated by explosions, sparks, and the hum of human warships moving as one. And as the last alien frigates were neutralized or destroyed, a calm settled across the battlefield. The humans had won. The alien forces were defeated, scattered, and broken, and humanity stood victorious not because of numbers or brute force, but because of strategy, courage, and unity. Captain Jinwoo allowed a brief moment of relief but remained vigilant, knowing that the galaxy was vast, threats were endless, and humanity must always be ready. The colony below cheered, their voices carried by communication arrays, expressing gratitude and hope, while across the stars, the Galactic Council observed in stunned silence, realizing that humans were no longer a species to underestimate or control. The human fleet maintained formation, engines humming steadily, shields still at full strength, and the crew knew that they had not only defended the colony but sent a message across the galaxy. Earth's humans were strong, resilient, and unstoppable. Lieutenant Hannah, Lieutenant Jaiwin, Navigator Minseo, Engineer Taemin, and Scout Heian all exchanged quiet nods of pride and satisfaction, knowing that their skills, bravery, and trust in one another had turned the tide of the battle and secured victory for humanity. Captain Jinwoo looked out into the endless stars, his mind already planning for the challenges ahead, knowing that while this battle was won, the war for humanity's place in the galaxy was far from over, and that the strength, courage, and unity displayed today would be remembered for generations to come. A testament to the unstoppable spirit of humans who would rise against any threat, and who would always stand vigilant to protect their people, their colonies, and their home, Earth, no matter the cost. The battlefield had fallen silent, but the human fleet remained vigilant, engines humming and shields glowing, as Captain Jinwoo stood at the bridge of the Daehan, watching the remnants of the alien fleet retreat into the darkness of space. His eyes calm yet filled with resolve, knowing that the victory was not just for the colony but for all of humanity. Lieutenant Hannah monitored the systems, ensuring that every ship in the formation maintained integrity, while Minseo guided the interceptors to sweep the surrounding space for any remaining threats, their swift movements like shadows protecting the fleet, and Jaiwin oversaw the boarding teams, ensuring that every alien vessel that could still cause trouble was neutralized, their weapons disabled, and engines rendered inoperable, while Engineer Taemin pushed the Daehan's energy cores to maintain shields at full strength and provide support to smaller ships, knowing that even a single failure could be catastrophic in the delicate balance of space warfare. Scout Heian reported from the observation deck, "Captain, the remaining alien units are scattered and unable to regroup. The colony is safe. No enemy ships are approaching." Jinwoo allowed himself a small nod, though his vigilance never faltered. "Good, but stay alert. The galaxy is wide, and there will always be new threats. Humanity must be ready for all of them." Across the stars, the colonies watched the human fleet with awe, the citizens whispering tales of courage, strategy, and unyielding spirit, knowing that their lives had been spared by heroes whose names, Jinwoo, Hannah, Taemin, Jaiwin, Minseo, and Heian, would be remembered for generations, symbols of humanity's strength and unity. The Daehan hovered above the battlefield like a guardian, while smaller ships conducted sweeping maneuvers, ensuring that no alien vessel could hide or survive. Every ship in the fleet worked in perfect synchronization, the culmination of years of planning, training, and foresight, proving that humans were not only capable of defending their colonies but of dominating any conflict with strategy, courage, and ingenuity. In the council chambers of the Galactic Council, representatives from countless worlds observed the reports, their eyes wide with disbelief as they realized that humanity had not only survived but emerged victorious against an overwhelming force. "They were underestimated," one council member whispered. "They are not just strong, they are exceptional." Back on the bridge of the Daehan, Jinwoo addressed his officers, his voice calm but imbued with authority and pride. "We have shown the galaxy that humans cannot be ignored. Today we protected our people, defended our colonies, and proved our strength. Let this victory remind every species that Earth is a force to be reckoned with. Lieutenant Hannah smiled faintly as she adjusted the tactical display. Captain, the fleet is intact, and all colonies are secure. Humanity stands united. Mincio guided the interceptors into formation, ready to respond to any distant movement, while Jaiwin ensured her teams were accounted for, checking that every boarding mission was successful and that no alien vessels could retaliate. Engineer Tamin monitored the engines and cores, feeling the steady hum of power flowing through the fleet, a sign that humans could endure anything, adapt to anything, and rise victorious against any enemy. Scout Heian's eyes scanned the darkness, still vigilant, knowing that while the immediate battle had been won, vigilance was the key to survival in a galaxy filled with potential threats. Across the colony, people celebrated quietly but with immense gratitude, looking up at the sky with pride, knowing that the humans in space, Jinwoo, Hannah, Taemin, Jaiwin, Mincio, and Heian, had defended their home with courage, intelligence, and unity unmatched by any other species. The human fleet began to regroup, repairing minor damages, redistributing energy, and preparing for the journey back to Earth, while still maintaining a perimeter of security in case any remnants of the alien fleet attempted a counterattack. Jinwoo allowed himself a moment of reflection, thinking of how far humanity had come, from small, underestimated colonies to a fleet capable of striking fear into the hearts of the galaxy's most powerful adversaries. Lieutenant Hannah, standing beside him, remarked quietly, "We've done more than protect today, Captain. We've shown what humans are capable of. The galaxy will remember this." Jinwoo nodded, acknowledging her words while remaining vigilant, for he knew that while this victory was monumental, the path ahead was filled with new challenges, new enemies, and new opportunities for humanity to assert its place among the stars. Mincio guided the interceptors back to formation, ensuring a smooth and orderly regrouping, while Jaiwin accounted for every boarding team and recovered all personnel, making sure the fleet was whole and ready. Engineer Taemin adjusted the energy cores to stabilize the Daehan, the hum of the engines a comforting reminder of human ingenuity and resilience, and Scout Heian continued scanning distant star systems, aware that vigilance must never falter. Across the galaxy, messages of Earth's triumph spread quickly, inspiring hope and fear in equal measure, showing that humanity had the courage, strategy, and power to defend itself and its colonies, and the alien coalition would think twice before challenging humans again. On the bridge, Jinwoo's voice broke the silence of anticipation, calm yet commanding. "Prepare for return to Earth. Today we celebrate our victory, but we remain ready for all that the galaxy may send our way. Humanity has stood victorious, and we will continue to rise, stronger than ever." Lieutenant Hannah smiled, Jaiwin nodded in agreement. Mincio guided the final interceptors to join the fleet. Taemin ensured the engines were primed for warp, and Heian's eyes remained vigilant even as the battle ended. The crew fully aware that their victory was a testament not just to strength but to unity, courage, and the indomitable spirit of humanity. As the fleet began its journey back toward Earth, the stars stretched endlessly before them, a canvas of potential, adventure, and challenge, and humanity sailed among them, triumphant, prepared, and stronger than any adversary could imagine. On the surface of the colonies, people celebrated quietly but with reverent awe, knowing that they were safe, their homes preserved by humans who had fought with intelligence, bravery, and heart. Captain Jinwoo allowed himself a brief smile, thinking of the journey that lay ahead, and of the future where humans would continue to defend their place in the galaxy, protect their colonies, and rise as a species unmatched in courage, determination, and spirit. Lieutenant Hannah, Jaiwin, Mincio, Taemin, and Heian, each in their roles, reflected on the battle's lessons, understanding that humanity had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious because they fought together, relied on ingenuity, and never wavered in their resolve. The alien fleet's defeat would be remembered across the stars, a testament to human perseverance and skill, and the Galactic Council would never again underestimate Earth's people. The human warship Daehan, its engines glowing steadily, led the fleet forward, a symbol of strength, vigilance, and humanity's readiness to face the galaxy. And as the fleet sailed silently through the void, Jinwoo looked to the stars and whispered, "We are humans. We endure, we fight, and we rise. The galaxy will remember that today." The crew stood ready, proud, and united, knowing that their victory was only the beginning of humanity's rise, that every colony they protected, every ship they commanded, and every decision they made would shape the future of the species, and that from this day forward, the name of Earth and its humans would shine across the galaxy as a beacon of courage, resilience, and the unstoppable spirit of a people who would never surrender, never yield, and always stand victorious.